How's it going, guys? We're back to another reaction video. So in this video, we're going to be reacting to what Disney character will win the Squid Game.
Peter Pan is a
concept.
Today we're taking 60 of the most beloved Disney characters and running them through the Squid Game.
Welcome to the Squid Game. We're excited for everyone to play.
Today's roster of contestants is as follows:
Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, Aladdin, Jasmine, Genie, Ariel, Ursula, Tarzan, Lilo, Stitch, Kronk, Simba, Scar, Pumbaa, Timon, Quasimodo, Frollo, Winnie the Pooh, Pinocchio, Elsa, Anna, Olaf, Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, Cruella de Vil, Mulan, Moana, Maui, Mirabelle, Bruno, Wreck-It Ralph, The Beast, Belle, Gaston, Baymax, Alice, The Cheshire Cat, Cinderella, Maleficent, Nick Wilde, Judy Hopps, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, Captain Hook, Hercules, Megara, Tiana, Dr. Facilier, Perry the Platypus, Dr. Doofenshmirtz, Dipper Pines, Mabel Pines, Luz Nasita, Kim Possible, Anne Boone Choi, Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
The following are the ground rules in the Squid Game. Number 1, no outside allies or sidekicks. 2, no outside weapons, with the sole exception of any equipment needed to survive. Number 3, no magic. 4, natural abilities are allowed. The first game is red light, green light. You may move forward when it shouts green light. Stop when it shouts red light. If your movement is detected afterwards, you will be eliminated.
Speed, composure, and general athletic ability will be your best friends in this round, as well as the ability to stay calm under pressure. So let's start this round by shouting out the most famous heroes and villains in the running. The ones who either overcame serious hardships in their stories or caused them. Dipper, Mabel, Anne, and Luz fought monstrosities no child should ever have to think about, so they're safe for sure. The same goes for Agent P, who's skillful and cool-headed enough to save Danville
And Doofenshmirtz from his innators on a daily basis. Hercules, Moana, and Maui also have godlike powers, so this game won't be too much for them to handle. War veterans Mulan and Donald Duck would also be able to handle the pressure. And then we have the more ruthless villains like Scar and Frollo, who are in good standing this round
thanks to their cool heads and cold hearts. They wouldn't flinch at the sight of blood that wasn't their own. And while he's not really a villain, we think the Cheshire Cat is another clear-cut winner. Not only could he easily blend into the crowd as needed, but he's tricky enough to whittle the crowd down a good bit. But some unfortunate players wouldn't need much help in order to lose. Kronk is a good-natured guy, but
that comes with him being clumsy and laid back. The moment the first red light came on, he remembered he had some of his world-famous spinach puffs in the oven. So he rushed to take them out before they burned and sealed his fate.
Player, you have been eliminated.
Peter Pan is a similar case, since he's about as carefree as they come. If Peter's down,
then Tinkerbell is following suit. She can be hot-headed at times, so seeing her closest companion shot in front of her little pixie eyes would be too much for her to handle without freaking out.
Players eliminated.
Tragically, she wouldn't be the only hero unable to keep her cool, but a few of the characters who seemed like obvious losers this round surprisingly managed to make it through. On the surface, Lilo is a strange 5-year-old girl, and Stitch is an alien with on and off behavioral issues. We just couldn't see either of them reacting calmly to people
being killed in their presence until we remembered they were both held hostage by an alien bounty hunter and lived to
tell the tale. Plus, they'd be determined enough to protect each other that they would take the game pretty seriously once they realize the danger. Another seemingly obvious elimination is Pooh, but we feel like Dr. Doofenshmirtz and Perry would take pity on him and make sure he got across safely. But the last one to actually go in
this round is Olaf, who would prefer to simply melt and be rebuilt later.
Best day of my life.
And quite possibly the last, rather than risk Elsa's place in the competition for trying to keep him stable with her magic.
Player, you have been eliminated. 56 out of 60 players remain. Let's move on to the next game, Honeycomb. Players must cut out the shape from their cookies. Those who break their cookie or run out of time will be eliminated.
Patience, steady hands, and artistic skills will come in handy here, as well as dexterity and general
resourcefulness. Elsa wins this round without a hitch. She creates highly detailed ice castles
with her powers in a matter of minutes, and even though this is different, that kind of precise summoning goes to show that she has some major artistic abilities. We think she could carve her shape pretty quickly. Luz and Mabel are pretty artsy as well,
often cooking up creative solutions to bizarre problems, sort of like Jihoon managed in this round during the actual show. Mulan doesn't have ice magic, but she has a lot of skills on top of being pretty cool-headed, so we think she she'd pass pretty easily as well. And that goes double for any character with inventing skills, or even just being able to use inventions with some level of skill.
That means Perry and Doof are once again safe, as is Pooh Bear, who was promised a small smackle of honey if he carved his cookie very carefully. After Doofenshmirtz spent 5 minutes arguing over what a
smackle is supposed to be, Perry convinced him to ultimately just accept it. Baymax was literally made for precise work like the cookie cutter challenge, so this wouldn't be a problem for him. It's just too bad he probably couldn't enjoy eating it after it's done.
While Pumbaa is neither the brightest nor most level-headed character in the running,
Are you talking to me? Shouldn't have done that.
his friendship with Timon will definitely come in handy here. Friendships with steady-handed players will save a lot of players in this round. For example, the more reckless Dewey could rely on Huey if he got stuck with an especially tough shape. And as reckless as Stitch could be, he's also mellowed out a lot. And given how quickly he picks up new skills like dancing and surfing, he could probably pass this round pretty easily. And of course, we can't forget about Quasi, who painstakingly created a small-scale model of his own hometown. Coincidentally, Doof did this as well, just for very different reasons.
I will be the ruler of my very own evil empire!
But not everyone is cut out for this round. And Gaston is actually the first to go, since he'd be more concerned about
Showing off how good he is at the game than, actually playing it. Knowing him, he'd get all the way through with carving his shape, then break it while flexing about how quickly he did it.
And I've got my sights set on that one.
Player, you have been eliminated.
Surprisingly, he's one of the very few eliminations this round, but
Ralph is one we're a lot sadder to see go. Ralph was literally made to wreck stuff, and while that's certainly not all there is to him, he doesn't have the skill set for precise carving, especially not in such a high-pressure environment. If he were tasked with chiseling a giant cookie, that'd be a different story.
Player eliminated.
And finally, we have Cruella. When the Cheshire Cat heard about her habit of animal abuse, we knew exactly who to target during this round, and given his stealth skills, the guards were none the wiser.
Player,
Gearing up for college? Don't stress. Get the money you
Player, you have been eliminated. 53 players remain. It's time for our next game, six-legged pentathlon. The rules are as follows. Players will split up into groups of 5, tie their legs together, and move in tandem around a track. Every 10 meters, one player will play a mini-game until it is completed, with each member playing once. The goal is to complete all games in the allotted time, repeating each one until it is complete.
So here are the mini-games.
Tiaki, throw a paper tile at the ground to flip over another paper tile. Flying stone, throw a small stone at another small stone and knock it down. Gongi, a traditional game of Korean jacks. Spinning top, and Jeggy, kick a Jeggy in the air 5 times in a row, kind of like hacky sack. Balance, composure, and general gaming prowess are important for this game, but arguably the most important aspect is
Teamwork. This is the point in the game where
alliances and teams start to be formed. Though teams are already well on their way, though. Elsa and Anna, Moana and Maui, Hercules and Megara, Dipper and Mabel, Nick and Judy, Doof and Perry. There's a lot of duos here, but also some trios. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, as well as Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba, each with varying degrees
of precision and strength. And speaking of strength, some players
who don't have a lot of pre-established allies would be in good standing because of their own skills. The most obvious example is Mulan, who is a straight-up war hero, but we also have to mention Luz, Kim Possible, and Anne, each of whom saved their worlds from
supernatural threats in unique ways. These 4 would make one heck of a team, and they'd gladly allow self-made restaurant owner Tiana into their ranks.
Are we in this together or not?
Most of the players in this round are
solid contenders, so it really boils down to which teams are the least skillful. More specifically, who didn't get a group of 5 in time. Pinocchio, Alice, Lilo, and by extension Stitch were all on the chopping block when Quasimodo insisted on taking the kids under his wing. This left a disgruntled Frollo to denounce his adoptive son, assuring him he'd find his own better team. But unluckily for him, and even more unluckily for them, he'd only be able to team up with the ladies who hadn't managed to find some strong allies yet, particularly the naive Ariel and strong-willed but gentle Cinderella.
Choose me or the fire.
Even these 2 didn't want to join Frollo, but they didn't have much of a choice since pretty much everyone else had already found a team. And those 3 are disqualified for failing to find a team of 5 within the time limit.
players eliminated.
And there is just one team who failed the challenge, and it was led by none other than Baymax. And I know, we're sad to see him go too, but we feel like his bulky body would make it a bit difficult for his team to stay upright. That and one of his teammates was
Captain Hook, whose injured hand allowed him to trick Baymax into serving him. That is, until he accidentally deflated him.
Players eliminated.
This was a bad investment on Dr. Facilier's part, since he respected Hook's craftiness.
Player, you have been eliminated.
It was an equally unfortunate development for Flynn Rider and Rapunzel, who joined Hook because they knew he'd be strong enough to help, but gullible enough to not be much of a threat. Unfortunately, Hook's clumsiness was greatly underestimated by the royal pair, and with that...
Players eliminated. 45 players remain. Our next game is Mingle. Here are the rules. Players will stand on a rotating platform in the center of a large circular room. At any given moment, a number will be called out, at which point players have 30 seconds to get into groups of said number and secure a room for themselves. Any player who does not find a room with the correct number of players will be eliminated.
Speed, composure, and ruthlessness are your best friends in this game. Which players have the prowess to secure a safe spot for themselves? And who's ruthless enough to actually do it? Well, given how he was originally made for destruction, Stitch is a fairly obvious winner here. He could barrel through nearly anyone else left in the running to save his own butt, as well as Lilo's. And on the lesser end of the violence spectrum, Pooh Bear is too sweet for most
of the players to leave behind. We could totally see Simba, Timon, and Pumbaa befriending the little guy, ensuring that the four of them would be safe during that 2 round. Scar, Ursula, and Maleficent are all on a level of pure evil that shows us none of them would hesitate to throw kids, animals, or whatever else under the bus. This, unfortunately, spells the end of some of the more
vulnerable players left in the running, like Alice, who, when you look at it objectively, is just a regular girl
who's seen some really weird stuff.
Player, you have been eliminated.
Belle would have been another easy target had it not been for the beast's
willingness to sacrifice himself to protect her.
Player eliminated.
I got, and I'm gonna end the video right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and got to drop like a subscribe with like on the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, buddy, and goodbye.